Hello, Ashley Stegall here with Ashley Usborne Books. I want to share with you all of our encyclopedias. These things are huge. They're so heavy. I can't hold them all up at once. Not and look graceful doing it. Oh my god, huge mess. So each one, these are the hardback. They are $39.99. They also come in a reduced format and they're paperback, and those are only $19.99. Content is the same. They're slightly smaller, and they're not, it's just the paperback, so they may not stick together as well. I would highly recommend, highly recommend buying either the hardback or even splurging and getting the library binding. My kids love these. I will catch them, see, I'm already dropping them. Wow. My kids read these all the time. I'll walk in the library, or our schoolroom, sorry, and they're laying on the floor reading the encyclopedias. You're just not going to find that with many encyclopedias. Okay, so I'm a classical conversations mama, and I use these 3 books every single year in CC. They're just that resource that I can know that a majority of the weeks I'm going to find something for my kids to read about our history statement, our science statement, or even geography. Those are the 3 main subjects that I use these for. We will be moving into cycle 2 in the fall, and so this has a whole section on the medieval world. It's just where we start. It will go into like knights and castles, and the fun thing, let me get to the medieval world here. Here we go. So the fun thing about this book is there's lots of pictures and the words are in small chunks. So you can assign a reading based on the week that you're in for history, and it will not take your kids 3 hours to read through an encyclopedia. I tend to give my kids a double-page spread a day or so to read, so they're not super overwhelmed. But even if I give them more than 1 double-page spread, they don't get super crazy about it. And there goes my dog with his thoughts about it. I know, buddy. So that is the history encyclopedia. The other one is geography. Now, geography is obviously used for geography, but I use it a lot for science in cycle 1 and in cycle 2. Not so much cycle 3 because it doesn't really talk about the human body much in here, or chemistry. But it does talk about ecosystems. It talks about the planet and how it, like all its spheres, like the biosphere, hydrosphere, core mantle crust, but it also talks about like the ecosystems. So when we get into biomes and stuff in cycle 2, you can find stuff to read in here. Then if you also want your kiddos to read about the area that we're studying in geography, you can have them do that. So in cycle 2, we kind of focus on Europe. And so Europe, let's find Europe. You can learn about the history of Europe. So here are the peoples of Europe. And so it gives you a fun picture of them celebrating one of their holidays and feasts. But then it also gives you some history perspective on the area itself. I'm really sorry that my dog's being loud. Eastern Europe. So again, you can use this one for geography and for science. Last but not least, we have the science encyclopedia, and we use this for all 3 cycles. The table of contents is super helpful in narrowing down where to start. All 3 encyclopedias have that same format with large pictures, small chunks of words, so it's easy to read. You can open this book up to any page. It does not need to be read in order, and you can learn something. Your kiddos, based on their reading level, you could assign a double-page spread, or you could even assign certain paragraphs on the page, depending on how well they read independently. If you're reading to them, then you read it as long as you have a voice. But here we have atoms and atomic numbers and things like that. So this is just the encyclopedias, elements, all kinds of things. Fabulous. All right, so I talked about hardback versus paperback versus library binding. But the thing about the hardback is you can get all 3 of these for $99.99 rather than $120. So you're saving yourself $20 by buying all 3 of them together instead of separating it out individually. But let me tell you, the best way to get all 3 of these is to host a party, because your hostess rewards can knock that price down even further, or you can get it for free. So hosting a party is your best bet in getting those the easiest or the least cost. And then the second way would be to buy the collection for $99.99, or if you need to go with paperback and get them each for $20, that's good too. But you definitely, as a homeschooling CC parent family, need all 3 of those encyclopedias in your library, because you have immediate resources for each of those subjects when you get home and you're ready to dive deep into those statements for memory work.